Hello, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist for the Toronto Sun. Joining me, Brad Hunter, our national crime columnist. And Brad, often junk justice, there's kind of an intersection of politics and crime coming together because you've got the heinous crime, but you've got the political judges or, the actual laws passed by governments that make it impossible to lock people up. I want to ask you about this one that I was writing about recently. Justice Renu Manthang used to be the head of the Ontario Human Rights Commission. She got that appointment from Kathleen Wynne. She's appointed a judge by David Lametti, Justin Trudeau's former justice minister who loves soft on crime judges. She throws out gun charges against a guy with other prior charges because she said the Officer Anand Gandhi, originally from India, had an unconscious racial bias against the black man that he arrested and found with a loaded, a Beretta CX Storm 4 in his back seat under a carpet. I mean, so clearly the fact that he found it was just because he was racist.
Since when are judges in this country mind readers? I mean, that's not part of the qualification. It's supposed to be solidly grounded in what the law says, not on what the judge guesses, her feelings, her gut, or whatever like that. And it's an absolute disgrace for anyone, for the accused or the victim. But this is what she's chosen to do. She's reached deep into the social justice bag and said, this cop, well, he doesn't appear to be racist, but I think he's racist. So, without any evidence in hand, she throws out this thing. This is a daily happening in Canada, Brian. And, so many of the judges have been appointed because of politics. And, it's just absurd. It's just people who aren't qualified to judge a lemonade contest.
The more I look at the appointments by David Lametti, the more worried I get, because it was clearly all about his woke academic mindset. And the guy was a law professor at McGill before he went into politics. He had some bizarre, publications and apparently some bizarre rulings. You found another one. We'd all talked about this a little while ago, but you got an update on this. This guy, Peter Hans Nungu. You may not know his name, but you probably heard the story of the Toronto woman who was attacked as she was trying to enter Stanley Park in Vancouver. Tell us what you found out about the accused here, this Peter Hans Nungu.
Well, Mr. Nungu is a frequent flyer in the system, but he'd been just released hours before this alleged attack occurred. Released on bail. And this is just, a day in, day out sort of thing in this country. Nungu was a man who, granted, has, mental health issues, but that doesn't make him any less dangerous to be sprung on the public, without a thought. I mean, we get scores of examples every day, Brian, of people who should be locked up for our safety and maybe even their safety as well. And they're just reluctant to throw anybody in. Hello, Bill C-75. And it's become very, very dangerous out there. And most Canadians, whether that is the reality or not, that is the perception.
Yeah, so this guy is someone attacking people repeatedly, released. And by the way, just to update, he went to a secure medical facility for a while. He's been released from that and told, make sure you live in Vancouver and don't attack any more people. Okay, great. That's not exactly public safety. But London, Ontario, massive fentanyl bust. And fentanyl is a scourge. The opioid crisis has killed more people in the last several years in Canada than died fighting in the Second World War. It's unbelievable. And fentanyl is a serious killer. You've got this bust in London, its biggest ever bust, more than 34 kilos of fentanyl. That's enough to do you could kill all of London with that. That is a massive amount, and these guys are getting bail?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, right? Bob pukes on the sidewalk after too many beers on a Saturday night, gets pulled in for public drunkenness. Guess what? Bob should get bailed. Susie lifts a pair of nylons from Susie Shear. You know, Susie, she should get bail. But if you're involved in fentanyl, that means you're generally probably involved in guns. And if you're involved in guns, you're involved in violence. It's, the tentacles on all this, spread. Why anybody would let these guys out for 5 minutes is absolutely beyond me.
I don't see it changing under the current government. While I like some things they're doing, like the defense spending, I don't see them doing anything to deal with the bail problems that every single premier, regardless of political party, has said need fixed. They're not going to do it, Brad, and you and I are going to be talking about junk justice until the cows come home. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Brian. Yes, we will be, because the ultimate solution to this sort of stuff, as you said in your intro, is politics. It's a political choice to fight crime, or as we would have it in Canada, not fight crime.
All right, we'll put it to the audience. Let us know what you think. Drop a comment down below. Share this on social media. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.